Your proximity to other people, especially those in your circle, can either be powerful and position you to win, or it could actually be a prison. Think about that for a minute. The proximity, the people you spend the most time with, that core 5, maybe even 10 people that you take phone calls with. You may even scroll through and engage in their social media. You have their content that's always in your feed. Maybe those people that you're around that you work with. Or it could even be family, people that you hang out with that you don't necessarily think of every day. But take a moment and think about the people you've spent the most time with over the last 3, 5, 7 days, maybe even the last 30 days. Jot down some of those names. As you're jotting those down, I want you to think about, how did they make you feel, not only before that conversation interaction, but during the conversation, the interaction that you both had, and then afterwards. You see, what I have learned is that proximity can be the fuel. It can actually accelerate your not only growth, but your results in such a way that you could have never gotten there on your own. But it can also be a limiting factor for you today. And many people have this as a blind spot because they like people. They may want to people please. They may just allow people into their life that are pulling them down, holding them back. And while they're trying to take care of them, all the while they're sacrificing their dreams, their goals, lowering their standards. See, last weekend I was able to go to an incredible mastermind with Cindy Ertman. She invited me out, and her group, I'm just going to tell you, some ballers. 35, 40 people in there, all successful in their own right, different levels of production, different levels of leadership, different channels in the mortgage business. The common thread I could tell, and I just sent Cindy a text about this, was the energy, the attitude, the humbleness, the willing to learn from other people and realize that none of us, even the people you think are the most successful that are around you, none of us have it all figured out. See, as I sat there, I was actually one of the presenters and speakers late on Friday. I was closing us out. And so imagine coming in, everybody's flying in on Thursday. People are tired, full day on Friday, 8:30 all the way until about 4:30 when I spoke. I started to think about the energy that was coming into that room. And I was noticing how people's behaviors would shift. I was noticing how people were engaged. Where were they starting to drift off? Were they still present? And I got to give a huge shout out to Cindy, because not only did she set the right break, she kept the intention, she told people what we're doing, but everyone there was there to learn and to contribute. Now that made for an incredible environment for when I was able to speak. But I will tell you this, if you're not in those environments on a regular basis, you need to seek them out. It could be what you call a pattern interrupt, where you actually go to an event and you intentionally seek out other people to get around the right energy. You get off of the Zoom, you get out of your normal surroundings, you fly out somewhere like I did to California. And what I found on every one of those trips, every one of these experiences, is when I go in with the right intention, I'm looking to meet people where they are. I'm looking to actually make meaningful connections. And I'm more interested about who's in that room, what they're up to, what they're doing, how I may be able to serve them, than me trying to show up and be the most interesting man in the room. You see, we know that be the most interesting person, do all that to bring people in. And I think a lot of that's dead, is we're burned out from it, right? Like we're just jaded to it, in the sense of the people that come in, they're the loudest and they want to be the most entertaining and the funniest and all these things, I've often found are usually the ones that have the most insecurities. Whereas if you actually connect with people one-on-one, I talk about it, and the theme of my talk there was the presence effect. And I actually believe this can change your entire game. Hey guys, it's Brian here. I hope you are enjoying the show. By the way, if you're an entrepreneur or a solopreneur looking to grow your personal brand, make a bigger impact, maybe increase your leads and grow your revenue, let's help you get started today by connecting up with my friends over at the Brand Builders Group. You've heard me talk about them, but if you're new here, this is definitely the first step to get you started in turning your reputation into revenue. Head over to freebrandcall.com/Brian Covey. Again, to set up your free brand call, go to freebrandcall.com/Brian Covey to set up a free strategy call with one of the team at Brand Builders, and they will dive into your specific goals for how you want to grow your personal brand. I can't wait to hear how it goes. everything about how you show up. And more importantly, when you leave the room and people are talking about you, whether it's for referrals, they're considering you for advice, they're considering to join your team, they're talking about the way that you helped them solve a problem. You see, that's what we want, is the way that people talk about us when we're not in that room, to be so strong and compelling and a magnet that pulls people in for repeat referrals, for deep relationships, and for a business that actually thrives no matter what the market condition is. So I want to bring you this message today because what I've found throughout my life is if you don't audit these circles at least every 90 days, some of you may need to do that even sooner. Like I would do it now, and then I would have something at the end of Q2, and then look at something on a rhythm every 90 days and audit. Who am I spending my time with? What does it look like? Am I growing? Am I more frustrated? Like recognize the feelings and what's going on. That self-awareness will be huge. And even in your Sunday night success planning that I talk about, is look at that week. And as you're planning out a meeting with someone, here's a great way to know what category this person might fit in. Is if you look at that meeting and you have that person scheduled and you don't want to, you're dreading it. You know that person just sucks the life out of you. It's either time for a difficult conversation with that person, reset some boundaries, reset some expectations, or it could be somebody that if you're able to, that you're not meeting and spending as much time with them. You either take the meeting time down, you change the conversation, or it's someone you don't meet with. You have an opportunity every Sunday as you look at your schedule. You get to choose, just like I do, every week. Where am I spending my time? Where am I investing my time? And who do I want to allocate that to? See, I believe when you get this right, the world starts to open up these new possibilities. And what I've learned just from leaving this mastermind that Cindy threw, went on a couple walk and talks with Dave Savage, both days with Dave, and then we flip-flop between Jeremy Forcier and Mike Hardy. And what I loved about those conversations, there's just three of us, but three people going deep, sharing what some of our dreams are, some of the things that we're struggling with, things that we would love to accomplish over the next few weeks, things that we had learned as we were there already. What I can tell you, when you're in those conversations, you're ideating, you're thinking, you're sharing ideas, you're just listening to how people think, you will grow. Be open to that this week. When you listen to this, it's give you a great chance to reset, reframe, and then actually set your intentions for where you want to go, who you spend your time with, and watch how those people make you feel and how you make them feel. So I believe we live in a time, and Trenton Shelton shared this on my podcast, and I love this, is about protecting your peace. Protecting your peace. This is one way you can be intentional about protecting your peace with who you spend time with and how you do it. See, I believe not only will it help you both from a mental, physical, spiritual aspect, but this is actually going to accelerate your business. Because I know when you're around people that you want to be around, and you're doing business with people you want to do business with, the game becomes more fun. So that's our challenge for this week, and I'll leave you with this last thought. When you audit this, and you've got your community, which is the larger group, and you start to move in then to that circle, which is a little bit closer to you, start to really pay attention to that last circle, which is your corner. The people you call when you really needed advice. You're making a big life decision. They're the people that you talk to and you share some of those deepest fears, deepest concerns, even your biggest wins that you may not share publicly with others. Look at that circle and start to move backwards, back out, and look at who you're spending your time with. I promise if you do this and you do it intentionally and you start to create a rhythm to this, watch how your life changes. Guys, if you like this has resonated with you, drop us a comment. Make sure you leave us a review. We love those. That's how we get the message out to everyone. And share this with one person. That'd be my ask. Share with one person in your life. You can let them know how much you care about them, you appreciate them. Maybe they're in your corner, your circle, and let them know how important they've been in your journey, in your development. See, when we do that, we actually let people know we're grateful for them. It creates an incredible, deeper opportunity in our relationship that we can move forward together. So be that person today. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next episode. See ya.